Albert Einstein once stood in front of a crowd and said, "If you want your children to be intelligent, read them fairy tales. If you want them to be more intelligent, read them more fairy tales." People laughed. They expected complex equations, not bedtime stories. But Einstein knew, imagination is more powerful than knowledge because knowledge has limits. But imagination, it builds worlds. This was not just a scientist speaking. This was a man who had failed, been rejected, misunderstood, and still he chose to believe. That is where genius begins. Albert Einstein was not just a scientist, he was a revolutionary thinker who changed how we see time, space, and even ourselves. His theories altered physics, but his words continue to guide millions in their journey of life, learning, and self-discovery. Born in Ulm, Germany in 1879, Einstein was a quiet child who spoke late. He often felt out of place in school and disliked rigid systems. But he loved puzzles, music, and exploring ideas beyond the textbook. Einstein studied in Switzerland and earned a teaching diploma in physics. But jobs were hard to find. He eventually worked at a patent office where he used his spare time to develop ideas that would later change science forever. In 1905, Einstein published his theory of special relativity, introducing the famous equation E equals mc squared. It revolutionized physics. But more than that, it showed that deep insight can come from simple beginnings. Einstein faced many failures. He couldn't get a teaching job at first. His marriage ended in separation, and he was forced to flee Nazi Germany. But through every fall, he rose with more clarity and purpose. "I have no special talent. I am only passionately curious." This was Einstein's way of reminding us that greatness comes from deep curiosity, not natural brilliance. Try not to become a man of success, but rather a man of value. He believes success fades, but contributing value makes life meaningful. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world. To Einstein, the future belonged not to the learned, but to the dreamers. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. He taught that true understanding brings simplicity, not complexity. A person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. For Einstein, mistakes were signs of courage and creativity. Look deep into nature, and then you will understand everything better. Einstein saw wisdom not just in books, but in the stars, rivers, and silence. "It's not that I'm so smart, it's just that I stay with problems longer." Einstein teaches us that persistence, not brilliance, is the real engine of discovery. Peace cannot be kept by force, it can only be achieved by understanding. Einstein was a pacifist. His science served humanity, not destruction. A person who never made a mistake, never tried anything new. He laughed at failure. Humor was his strength, not a weakness. Einstein often said, "Science without religion is lame. Religion without science is blind." He didn't reject spirituality. He sought truth in both the stars and the soul. The woman who follows the crowd will usually go no further than the crowd. Einstein admired individuality. He stood apart so he could think freely. Education is not the learning of facts, but the training of the mind to think. He wanted young people to question, to think, and to imagine freely. Einstein died in 1955, but his mind still inspires every child who dreams, every adult who doubts, and every soul that seeks light in darkness. True power lies not in knowing everything, but in never losing your hunger to learn, to question, and to grow.